off. Now here's why. There was 2 chilies that tied for first. So if you know, in keeping with the Olympic spirit, you got gold, and then you get bronze.
Right.
So I ended up with the bronze medal in the chili cook-off, which I think was fake news, and I think there was no count. I wasn't there when they counted. I feel like they just were against me. Anyway. There was a chili. There were several chilies there. That, oh my goodness!
Is it a commercial?
No, it just went dead for a second.
He said it's literally playing a commercial.
Did you listen?
Out of a tomato. Hey, so you got me to run that?
Yeah, I do. So Heather Locklear.
Hey, we're talking about Heather Locklear. I mean, that's what we got to talk about.
Heather Locklear.
Like nobody knows who she is, man.
She's hot.
But she one of those chicks that we were like, oh, I can't wait to have me I'm gonna wait to have me a Pilgrim girl in my life, and Heather Locklear was like the model.
Yeah, she bad.
So Heather,
she was on what show was she on?
Heather Locklear was on Dynasty from 81 to 89, Melrose Place from 93 to 99. So that's probably one of her biggest shows.
See.
And then Spin City from 99 to
She's
2002. So Spin City was
Heather Locklear was a MILF that brothers like, because your grandma watched Dynasty and you like, oh, I like her.
Well, don't date her because she was arrested for domestic. Well, the call came in for domestic violence. She was arrested on 3 counts of misdemeanor battery on an officer because she fought the officer when they went to arrest her. She is 56. She has passive substance abuse. She's been arrested for DUI and has had issues with prescription drugs. Of course, this was on Sunday night, and she and her boyfriend have already made up.
Because she's Heather Locklear.
Let
me see a picture of her. I need to check her out.
There was a teenager in China who was on an elevator, and he decided it would be a really fun game to pee on all the buttons. Up and down the buttons.
Just TMZ News. See,
did you say buttons?
Buttons.
You know what? I think we should have a weekly game called the Battle of the News Story. Because I got one for Moose.
Wait. Let's finish with the buttons and then you go.
Do you want me to be the token white girl?
All right, go.
So then he was stuck in the elevator because none of the buttons would work, and he had to stay in there, just standing in a puddle of his own urine. So don't pee on the elevator buttons.
I wish. So do we know what race he was?
Chinese.
So I wish he wouldn't have told us, because that would have been a good one to guess.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
because I would not got it right.
Does this interest you?
All right, go.
Woman caught on subway banging her blood boyfriend with a strap on.
She's banging her boyfriend.
Blood boyfriend.
He's a gang member?
Yeah, blood.
And she's having sex with him on the train?
Yeah, banging him with a strap on the subway.
Wow.
On the subway.
That's very interesting.
It's very interesting news, right? Let's see.
You know what? Wait, real quick. So real quick, was she pegging him? Or was she stimulating his?
She had a strap on, so she was banging him with a strap on.
No, but sometimes they can be pegging.
You got a video.
I don't want to see it. Never mind. Next. I'm out.
Woman, mother of 2 murdered for her tax return check.
It's that time of year. I mean, I don't know if you saw the heavy hitters site today. I mean, even McDonald's got the ice cream machine fixed. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's out there, man.
Wow, look at this one.
Real quick, speaking of that, shout out to Iron 3 Hip Hop Show, man. Shout out to D-Lo and Arlo Gritty and KF, man. Shout out to the Iron 15 music session. Independent radio is definitely in here, man. Guys, by the way, you're listening to Heavy's radio show. Remember, we are where you are.
Get comfortable.
Yeah, so that's all. We're not doing that right now. I just want to let everybody know. So, Jeezy, where can you catch it before you run that news?
No, this is news you can use.
Sorry. Yes. My bad.
Then you catch us on Apple, iPod. You catch us on Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts.
You catch us on Spreaker.com/independent radio.
Yes.
You catch us on Podcast Addict. Put in independent radio. Just go to Google, man. Put in independent radio. Heavy Hitters Radio Show.
YouTube. We're on YouTube,
We're on
too.
YouTube too.
Yeah.
Real quick, this says Wakanda forever.
Yeah.
Man marries 2 women, and when they say you may kiss the bride, they all 3 kiss each other. It's a triple kiss. We got pictures.
That's nice. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Oh, wow. Well, good job.
I love some Ron Shine right now.
He's a player, right?
I just thought I was supposed to do entertainment news. That's what I was doing. That was my job.
All right, so do you have some more?
Yeah, I do.
All right, go.
All right, so Jared Fogle is back in the news. Bless
What did
his
he
heart,
do?
Fat Jared.
What you mean, bless his heart? He's a child molester.
Bless his heart is like the international white girl's insult that doesn't sound like an insult.
He's a child molester, not bless his heart. Fuck him. Pineapples, sorry.
He requested to have the judge removed from his case because she's a mom. I'm a child molester and my judge is a mom, so I would like her removed from the case and I would like my whole case thrown out.
Yeah, makes
because
sense.
she put me in jail.
He's fighting it.
Because she's a mom. He lost. So he has a 15-year sentence. So Judge Tanya Walton Pratt was his judge.
Really?
Yes.
Hey man, I tell you, if you're in Indiana, vote for her.
So he wanted her. He said that she had a biased opinion because she had teenage daughters. It did not go on.
Vote for her if you're in Indiana.
Yes. So, you know what, Jared Fogle, nobody feels sorry for you.
No, I mean, you know what? You already lost weight eating Subway.
Twice a day.
And so you probably should.
His dad's a doctor. And his answer was to eat Subway twice a day.
All right, so now I got this question though. All right, you guys, you ready for this? All right, so.
Last one.
Wait,
last one. Now put my phone down. I'm done.
You gonna mess with my thought? All right, go.
Is your thought about Jared
Shock
Fogle?
video: Memphis black man is being charged with being a Nazi.
Yeah, okay, he probably did. He probably did. He's probably one of those goofy, one of those ignorant brothers that thinks he can be a Nazi.
Is Dave Chappelle coming to life?
I was going to say, what was that? It was a blind guy that was in the Klan. What was his name? You remember his name?
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
I don't remember his name either, but.
You know his name, Ron?
I do not know that off the top of my head.
Dave Chappelle, I ain't never seen that.
I know who he is.
All right, so Jared Fogle.
Yes.
You know, it's one of those things where, to me, once you become a child molester, you are pretty set for life. Only because we're not really sure if you're okay or not.
Right.
And so it's one of those things where we probably need to know where you are and keep you registered and that whole deal. And I have friends, you know, that have been to prison, you know, for what could really be considered small mistakes with people that are old enough to know better, but since they made them, they're hit.
Right.
That's how it goes, you know. And then so, man, you know what? It's real tough. But Jared, you know, he need to keep his head down, eat his 6 inches 2 or 3 times a day, whatever he's gonna do, and then be done with it. Because for sure he's taking 6 inches several times a day.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hey man, have his radio show, Miss Moosey and Big House. I'm up in there, man. We got Juicy blowing. You know, hey, by the way, you need to quit doing that. On your Instagram, you put blowing.
I know, right?
And I thought about it, and I was like,
as soon as I hit send, I was like, maybe I won't read it.
I was like,
You know you can edit it after you post it.
Yeah, but what's done is done. I don't like to regret my decisions, but I kind of do on that one.
blowing.
The flavor.
All right, man.
You guys want to know about 50 Cent
Go.
Yeah, sure.
and his Bitcoins?
Yeah.
Remember,
Go.
he had like millions of dollars in Bitcoins.
And then he lose it?
Well, they have disappeared, or so he has said in his sworn testimony. So
It's just cryptocurrency.
he filed declaration in bankruptcy court saying that I have never owned and do not own a Bitcoin account or any Bitcoins. So he's been tweeting about it, and You know, 50 Cent, you used to be so cool, and now I'm
is
just
he
not so
having
sure.
a Dr. Ben Carson moment? He's like, I've never ran for president. What y'all talking about?
Maybe. I mean, he has totally changed his story. He's like, nope, I don't have any. I never had any. I don't know what you're talking about.
We can literally go back and look at the tweets. Like, we literally can go back and find it. No, I never ran for president. I'm just talking about.
1 million.
1 million. Was you shagging that motherfucker?
So, he looks really confused in court over these Bitcoins. Maybe he's also trying to figure out if somebody's transgender and kissing people. I don't know.
All right, Jeezy, I got this for you, man. So, in Texas, in the girls' state championship, 110-pound weight class, there was a transgender boy who won second time in a row, won the women's state championship, 110-pound wrestling championship. Are you okay with that?
Joanna Man, yo, that's what it is. This is Joanna Man.
No, it's not Joanna Man.
If Joanna Man said it's junk.
This was a female
that came to a male
that wants to be male.
Is she being dudes?
No, she's wrestling in the women's division because in Texas, whatever your birth certificate says, that's how you wrestle.
Okay, one more time. So she's a female.
She is a this is the part that pisses me off about
she was born female.
Listen to me, yes.
Transitioned into a male.
She is a transgender male.
So she's trans,
which means she was born female, like you said.
And trans back to she wants to be a boy.
And she wants to be a boy.
Okay, so
Texas high school law says whatever your birth certificate says, that's where you perform. Okay. So since she is a female, she wrestles against girls.
But she has all this testosterone of a man.
She is undergoing a transition where she does take testosterone. Now, Texas law also says in sports that if you're undergoing some sort of medical condition, you can take steroids, HGH, all that kind of stuff. If it's a medical situation, which hers is considered medical because
so she's taking all the boxes to get through the loophole.
She wants to wrestle the boys. They won't let her.
They won't let her.
So I had a picture of her. She's literally. I sent it to you. Did I send it to you?
Yeah.
She was choking shit out of this girl.
Let me ask you this, Moose. So how dedicated? If somebody said, you know what? Let's say you was 6'7", and you was a decent basketball player. But she was like, you know what? I could dominate the women. I go to the WNBA and make, about $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. Go overseas, make a couple of million. But you chop it off and go through the
Moose is not doing it.
And go through the transition.
No dunking.
And you out there, so you still even though they get you with estrogen, you still got your coordination. You don't lose your coordination. You might lose, I guess, muscle mass or something.
You working out and stuff, so you're gonna lose a little bit of muscle mass. You can grow some booties.
Yeah, but your game.
Your attitude is gonna be a little stank.
But your game is gonna be superior. But your game gonna be like.
Right, you're gonna be dunking. Easy. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. Now that you say that,
it's gonna happen, yo.
I'm surprised. What's the old boy, the first gay basketball player?
Collins.
He's a twin. Yeah. I'm surprised he'd be like, he wants to be a dude that's gay, but you're gonna have somebody that's gonna be a dude that wants to be a woman that plays basketball. That'll be like, you know what I'm doing? I'm going over. And they would dominate. Brittany Griner, like, but dude.
But would it be a chick? I don't know.
I never say that. I think whatever your birth certificate says, that's why you should go pee.
I think if you have a sex change, you get a new birth certificate.
So like if you
all your documentation says your new gender.
All of a sudden, if you have a penis, then you gotta go into men's.
Yes.
If you have a penis, you should go into men's. If you do
yes.
not,
If I get a penis constructed, I get to go in the men's room because I've had a sex change operation.
Yes.
Biggie Gates said, and I quote, "Jared isn't a child molester. He just like to watch kids bang." Basically.
What in the world? I mean, it's true.
That may be one of the definitions.
He's probably right.
So I guess you technically
Big Gates, you're probably right, man, on that, man.
That's funny.
He's a child predator.
Hey, I want Big Gates thoughts on transgender female, transgender female playing in the WNBA or girls basketball game in high school.
That would be insane.
All right, guys. I'll tell you, man. It's Heavy's radio show. You know what?
Do we need to talk about any other copycats or superheroes?
Well, superheroes. We gotta get into that. So, all right. So, guys, I don't know if you saw it now. I'm so sad on my phone. So I posted a picture of Blade. Right? You guys remember him in the movies here recently? Wesley Snipes played Blade, and you know he was one of the first really Marvel superheroes, man. He was even though he was Dracula, you know, he's one of the first ones.
Do you need this?
But he wasn't part of the MCU.
Yes, he is. He was.
Or Marvel, but not the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And then what about so Eric he was a superhero vampire hunter. He was created by Marv Wolfman and Gene Colan. He was a penciler. He came out like in '73, man. You know, and technically he was the first black Marvel character featured in a motion picture.
Yeah, he was. Everybody know that.
Because really, Black Panther as the Freaky Beach Bum. I don't know if you saw it or not, but the Freaky Beach Bum commented that Black Panther was the first black superhero because he was created in number 52, episode 1, like in 1966.
Yeah.
All right, so I get that. There's a picture, you see that?
Yeah, I mean, but people understand. This is how you stop all this. When people want to bring up Wesley Snipes, you just say this. Black Panther is the first black superhero movie to gross $700 million in 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you definitely understand why that happened, though, don't you?
Because everybody wanted to see. You had black people wanted to see it because it was a black Panther. You had people going to see it because it was a comic book movie. Then you had people that was curious about it, so everybody's going to see it. But now Trevor Noah, and I'm gonna give him credit for this. When he said, he was like, people understand it like this. Black Panther is a good movie, but in the same way that Wonder Woman, when Wonder Woman was out, women felt it was a good movie, but women felt special about that. Something special about that movie to women. Baby, run and feel that way about Wonder Woman.
No, I was being blinded.
Huh?
I was being blinded by the light of my phone.
Oh,
that's why.
So basically the same way women feel about Wonder Woman. You know, if this is the first time that somebody who looks like them in a leading role on the screen, you know, kicking ass and taking names, you feel happy about that. You know what I mean? So that's the same way that minorities and black people feel about, you know, Black Panther on screen for the first time, and it wasn't slaves. They weren't in the hood except for the first, you know, and even then it was like doing some progressive shit. But anyway, so it was like that's the first time, so you feel proud about that shit. And it was funny when he was like, and he said, no, when they were speaking subtitles, like, I don't need your subtitles. I don't need it. I don't need your subtitles. Because he's from Africa. So the language that they spoke is from his, where he's from. So, and I guess it premiered in Africa, like this week. I'm like, man, if you ever see the videos, But it's crazy, like to the point where like the government, like like this movie has spawned like we think about what it's doing here, but we never really thought about the impact, as I have until I saw the videos of what it's doing over in Africa. So all these nations, Africa is 95%.
We need a boy over here, man. I was gonna say we need you over here, man. What's up with you?
Can't complain.
You alright? Yeah, man. Help me for not getting up, man.
Okay. Actually, I was coming to look for you.
I was gonna say, yeah, man. I tell you what, we
You
got.
want to tell people who's here?
This is the end of the show, so we got a few minutes. If you wanna put it on. Okay, he's great. Hey man, look, folks, my man is here. Grab your. Is there a chair? Grab you a chair. You know what I like? I like the fact we're on radio, but you got your you tighten your jacket up. I like. He gonna talk some business.
Hey, if you gonna have conversation,
He gonna talk some business, boy. Hey folks, so real quick, I mean you're right. So we talk about Wakanda and all that kind of stuff, man. I mean like it's only real. It's only real that it's one of those because a lot of people thought it was a black movie, right? It's not a black movie. We really need to understand that Walt Disney owns that movie, and Marvel Studios owns that movie.
Yeah.
It's not.
But however,
I might own part of it, unless my family's lying to
It
me.
is not a Tyler Perry movie. It's not a.
But understand this: it's going to change the MCU. It's going to change DC. It's going to change movies, period. Because now, what they're saying is like all these what studios been saying for years is that black movies don't travel overseas. That has been the line that they use to not cast as many black people in movies because they say, well, overseas it won't do nothing. But now it's proven that not only in Africa and South Korea and the UK, like it's making a boatload of money over there. So now that myth or that line has been debunked. So now moving forward, it was something about how T'Challa, Iron Man was like the main focus in all the Marvel movies. But now they're talking about like using T'Challa and vibranium and Wakanda to kind of take the role of Iron Man.
I mean, but you do realize. I mean, you do realize that vibranium is the metal that makes them who they are. I mean, like
Cap Shield.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So Cap Shield is vibranium. Bucky, most of his body is now using vibranium.
Does that have anything to do with Pterogenesis or no?
That's totally different.
That's a whole different
Pterogenesis is totally different.
In humans, that's
human, but
no, but aren't they all related somehow?
Yes, but it's one of those things where I think that it was a natural progression.
And
who knew?
They was put like this. They predicted that Disney thought that Black Panther would do $600 million the whole run.
Right,
that was their prediction.
It's already $700 million over the same
in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
they outdone Justice League.
Right.
Well, Justice League whole run in the movie theater. It outdid it in 2 weeks. So imagine this. Can you imagine 10 years ago if I told you that Justice League with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and The Flash would not do better than Black Panther in the movie theater? What would you told me? You'd call me crazy. Because we all know Superman, Batman, that's like the holy grail of like
of superheroes.
Those two, you mean to the Black Panther, like really? Right. Not an X-Men, not none of them.
Hey, and speaking of that, by the way, coming soon on our Twitter, man. I have some panels that I want to share with people, man. So did you know that Childless wife, his first wife, the Storm, right?
Yeah,
a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. So Storm was ex-wife. So once again, there's a situation where a powerful man did not want to be married to Halle Berry. You know what I'm saying? David Justice, old boy that could say, what was his name? Eric Benet, and then Black Panther. None of them wanted to be with Halle Berry, man. It's ridiculous. So anyway, so I got Mr. Marvel. Mr. Marvel was black originally. Like I said, we got Storm. I already posted. I have not posted my man that's on tonight. Static Shock, not Static Shock.
Black Lightning.
Black Lightning. But I got his daughter on there already. Have you seen? Have you watched it?
I'm on episode 3.
Wait, who does his daughter become?
She's like.
Maybe don't ruin it.
No, you saw it.
I'm an episode behind. I've seen part of it.
But yeah, I mean, she's out there getting costumes and stuff, man. So
I
anyway,
missed the costumes.
I don't want to mess you up. I'm not gonna do any spoilers.
I will watch
but I'm gonna tell you something. If you're a superhero person, you should check out Black Lightning. Black Lightning's dope. All right, so I need some names real quick because I don't have my notes in front of me. I don't have my notes in front of me here. Fron, yes. Hey guys, my man Fran's in the house. We talked about, was it 2 weeks ago? I was going to say 2 weeks ago we talked about Fron. Now guys, if you want to do...
We talked about him on the show or if it was just after the show.
Was it after the show?
I think it was
so we're talking about like investments and housing and all that stuff. Am I on the right frame?
Mainly mortgages.
Yes. Yes. All right, so guys, listen up. I always tell people, by the way, Fron, Moose, aka Big House. Fron, I tell people, man, listen. I know guys that want to rent a place and they're paying $850 to rent an apartment, and I'm like, why are you renting an apartment where you can get a whole house for $850 and have some other things you need to do? And they always say, well, I don't want to have to cut the grass and I don't want to have to fix the gutters and all this kind of stuff. And so introduce yourself, please. You looking sharp, by the way. Looking real sharp. Introduce yourself. Tell us what it is you do, please.
Good evening. My name is Fron Neal. I'm actually a licensed loan officer over at Teacher Credit Union. Just to kind of give you a heads up, what I'm really doing is really focusing on helping out first-time home buyers, especially those people who have gone through some things, don't necessarily think they can actually be able to acquire, quote unquote, the American dream.
All right, so when you say gone through some things, do you mean like they was locked? I mean, like I'm going extreme here.
Was it credit issues?
So they was locked up, they have credit issues, that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Whatever the thing that I would say is that it takes a little patience, it takes a little discipline, and a lot of faith.
Okay.
And if you have that, you'd be surprised in whatever it is that you can do.
Discipline, patience, and faith.
Yeah.
I like
Now,
it.
I'll take a home. I think in Indiana you can have a 580.
Well, I mean, it all depends on the lender. Mainly, that's an entry point. To go in 580. There's also,
I know in Georgia.
What does that mean? What is 580?
A 580 is your beacon or FICO score, fair IC credit.
Okay.
Now in Georgia, it's like a 640 or 630.
Who let this guy talk?
I was adding on to my man. I mean,
well, the thing is, just because you start in at a 580 don't necessarily mean that you're going to stay there.
Yeah.
Where you really want to be a good sweet spot is when you really want to start having conversations is about 680 and above. And some people will say that, hey, 580 is not going to necessarily be able to get you there, but yet still you don't know how far you are, to get into a 680 by just a couple of tweaks and a little changes in your spending habits.
Okay, so all right, check this out, guys. So the number we throwing around right now, that Jeezy's throwing around, is 580, and that means your credit score. And Fron has some fancy terms that we don't know nothing about, but we just have to pay attention. We learned it too, by the way. All right, so now get your credit score up. Guess what that means, Jeezy? Bro, you gotta sometimes you got that stuff you need to pay it off when you're not, the stuff that you can just kind of like last on your record. You gotta pay that stuff off. And there's three areas. What is it? Experian,
TransUnion.
TransUnion and Equifax, yes, sir.
Okay, and so
They use 2 out of 3, right?
Oh, well, now, actually, as a matter of fact, it's always good to get all three because at that point in time, you may have a situation, not to get into too boring on this, but you may have, 2 of your scores really, really good, and then 1 that's just like the pick. So, to make a long story short, you may want to go and focus on why is it that it's causing you this. Now, by no means am I a credit analyst, but what I will say is that if in the event that you have that situation, it's probably due to the fact that you may have creditors that are on there that just don't want to let go because it's actually profitable for the big three, if you will, to keep that information and keep it in a derogatory manner. You know what I mean? So it's better to focus and make sure you at least know, because if you know, you have a starting point.
So yeah, for sure, bro.
Talk louder.
It's one of those things where I think that, all right, so I have a friend that's a banker, and he told me that I should do optout.com. Is that right, Ron? I told you about it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So
I was so excited about it.
Absolutely. I've done it myself.
I did it too.
Can you tell us a little bit about Ron and Fran? Tell us a little bit about optout.com.
Okay, so by selecting this feature, when you going on optout.com, basically it keeps all of the creditors from doing soft pulls on your credit. Okay, so for those people that are calling in saying, "Hey, you got a credit card? You got pre-approved for a credit card," and you'll be excited saying, "Hey, I want the quick buck," so you can go and do whatever it is that you want to do. However, but by selecting this feature on there, you would actually remove all of those unwanted, unneeded credit pulls, soft credit pulls. You don't get the robocalls as much saying, "Hey, you want a trip to Tahiti," but realistically it's a timeshare or something like that. It keeps you away and it takes all the distractions away from ultimately having the goal, which having your own lane. So.
Hey, Ron. So
Yes.
From your position, how did it affect you?
So we talked about this 2 weeks ago on Valentine's Day. So the very next day I got on there and I opted out for 5 years. And my credit score went up 52 points. 52. I got an in 2 weeks. I got an email and it was like, "Hey, you have a new credit monitoring alert." So I got on there and it went up 52 points and I was like, "What in the world? This is fabulous."
And the reason why,
because I opted out.
Yeah, and not only that, but there may have been derogatory credit that may have been hanging out on one of your credit or one of your credit scores. And with that, right there, just by doing that simple maintenance, you had the result of 52 points.
Right. I was shocked.
Yeah. So there's things that stay on there. Usually the time frame is like 7 years, but realistically, it can be on there for 9 years, 10 years, and nobody's going to really let you know this because it's profitable once again for these companies, to keep you in debt, to keep you kind of, for lack of better words, enslaved into it.
On the hook, right?
Yeah, on the hook. Right.
I also recently heard that those creditors, that if you are getting close to those 7 years, then they might misreport, so it looks like you're making small payments so that it stays on.
Absolutely.
Even though you have had no contact with them.
Absolutely. Once again, they're very stubborn and on how they do that. Once again, because they don't want to lose money. It's good to keep you there. So they'll go and put information on there that says, okay, well, yeah, it's cleared off of one of the 3, TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax, but the other 2, not so much. And that's where, a lot of the people who think that who may have a grand opportunity don't have that opportunity. And it's not fair, but it's profitable. Make sense? So what we're doing is that we're trying to debunk that and also give yourself a fighting chance to go and do what it is that you want. And hear me when I say this. Even in the event that you don't do it within the time frame that you want it done, it'll put you in a better position to go and do whatever it is that you want later. You know, and it could be 2 months later, your score went up 52 points, you know, just by selecting it. Also, paying your bills on time is always good as well. But paying your bills on time is always good.
Now, is it true that also something that helps your credit is like if you get a credit card and kind of leave a balance on it for like 6 months and then pay it off?
Okay. So here's the thing with that. It's a thing it's called credit utilization. Some people say it's 40% of the total balance that you have, or the total amount of money and credit you can use. In this case, it'll only, you utilize 30%. So if you got a $300 card, you got approved for, only use 30%, so $30. Use it towards gas. Turn around, go and buy, go out to eat or go and buy lunch or do something like that. But something where you can actually turn around and pay it right off within a day or so. And you'll be surprised where you would go from, having 52 points over to 90 points. I can only tell you from what I know. 2016 I was lucky, or blessed in this case, to have the opportunity to buy a house. And, I use a couple of places that, report, but they don't necessarily report. They don't necessarily report on time. So they may go off for 2 months. 2 months information from long ago, and all the while you're being diligent and paying off your bills. Well, by doing that and utilizing your credit, doing that credit utilization exercise, you would surprise yourself. I was actually able to go up 90 points just by itself by doing that and staying diligent and making sure I did the maintenance on it.
Hey, so it's fun. Sounds like pay your bills on time if you get behind, pay it off. Make sure you go on that optout.com, opt out, and do the 5-year plan. So you have to think about it.
How much it costs?
$0. Optoutprescreen.com.
And then
send me that text.
As you do. No. You already told him.
All we want is
and it will be a better benefit to do it after you bought your home. Does that make sense?
So buy your house first, then look for
because basically, from my understanding, if you have a loan that counts against you because what was it your
debt to credit.
I can't come with the word. The debt to credit ratio. Yeah, debt to credit ratio. And also, man, and also understand
that financial 10K for most.
Yeah, and also understand, man, that cars depreciate, homes appreciate.
I'm sorry.
It just went up, didn't it?
FHA. What does that stand for?
First time home. I thought it was first time homeowners.
No,
that's a different one.
However, in a lot of products that are conventional, after the conventional, after that time frame where you've gotten lower than 80% loan to value, then at that point in time, that mortgage insurance falls off. You can actually contact your servicing company, say, hey, I'm in a conventional loan, I would like to have this removed, and then they will honor that, which would overall make your monthly payment a lot lower.
About $100.
Yeah. Or in some cases, some people actually just continue to keep that $70 bill after they've removed it and put it directly towards principal. So that way, you can actually
pay off your home faster.
Pay it down a lot faster.
Because all it is basically if you get sick. Basically, it's like if you can't pay your bill, that insurance kicks in and pay off.
Does it make sense to pay down, like pay your mortgage down as fast as you can? Like so you get 30 or people get 15 or whatever. Is that what you want to do?
Ultimately, I mean, to keep out from a lot of debt, keep out from under a lot of debt, yeah, that is smart. You can definitely do that, but you don't have to do it by their terms. There's a certain thing called no prepayment penalty.
No prepayment penalty.
No prepayment penalties. If you're looking for a loan or a mortgage, make sure that there's no prepayment penalties. Which means that if you have that tax season and money is coming in and you want to put money towards your principal, it's just as easy as taking that money that you have, designating it, saying, hey, I want this amount of money, X amount of dollars to go towards the principal to lower the principal. Ultimately, what happens at that point is that you get closer and closer to getting that sucker paid off.
Yeah, and also bi-weekly, right? Bi-weekly is
do it bi-weekly, yes, sir.
We cut it in half.
Pay one big one or half,
But the thing is,
as long as it's.
But when you do bi-weekly,
it's early.
But when
you pay $425 or $850.
No, but what happens is interest accrued by the day. So when you cut it in half, we pay for 2 weeks. You paying more towards your principal, plus you making an extra payment every year. So then it cuts it in half. So a 30-year mortgage becomes a 15. Come on, man. I know a little something, man.
Hey, I'll tell you real quick, guys, man. Which side we got from here? And if you're looking for a mortgage guy,
yes.
To me,
I wish I would know before I refinanced mine.
I'm gonna tell you right now. To me, you want one that kind of resembles E40 in the suit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there looking at it and I'm like,
I don't know anything about your FCC rules, so I'm just going to hold on that. I'll keep going.
Hey man, no, I'm an E40 fan. As you was kicking knowledge.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
This dude is a real smart E40, man. Alright, so folks, man, problems up in the house now. And I tell you what, my plan is to get with man in a more quieter session.
Yes.
In a more quieter session and kick it because you know what? Guys, I don't know if you guys know about this and from. I'm glad you're here. As we talk about Wakanda and everybody's like, oh, where you saw it, and support this black movie. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to buy some stock in this stuff before it comes out so that, I'm going, you know what, I've seen it twice. And I paid for 2 people one time, and I paid for 3 people one time, right?
But it's a movie pass.
And I got nothing to show for it. But if I would have bought some stock in, I don't know, Marvel, Disney, something, then it would have made more. Matter of fact, my stocks would have went out the roof. You know, this the last couple of weeks. I'm like, man, I'm just sitting pretty. But instead, I'm just a consumer. I'm not making anything off of what I enjoy. And guess what? I think if you get to a point in your life, you need to make something of what you enjoy. You need to do what you enjoy. Like, you're very smart at what you do. Like, what you're saying, like, we don't know nothing about that. Jeezy acts like he's some sort of real estate deal. He don't. He just probably just signs some papers. He's like, yeah, I'm listening. But it's one of those things where I think that I would like to get a guy like you sitting down and a stock dude sitting down and some sort of analyst and I need to get with some guys there and be like, hey, here's where you put your money. Here's where you move it. Here's how you make some situations happen for yourself. Because what happens is we don't do that. And then the day that I die, if I don't have proper insurance for my boys and all those things in place, then I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want that. I want enough people to listen to our show. We call them neighbors, right? By the way, From, you're a neighbor and have your energy.
I appreciate you. Thanks.
We want our neighbors to say, man, I'm buying a house. I need to get with From, man. To check it out. And then guess what? I want to buy some stocks. I need to do some little light investment. Because guess what? It doesn't have to be heavy investment.
Sure.
There's a lot of guys out there that will say, we make an investment, man. We doing that club. Let me throw some money into your nightclub. You doing a party tonight? Let me throw some money into your party. And then it doesn't make them any money, right? I want guys to be able to have an opportunity to play with it a little bit, to make some investments, and to make some really big boy, some true big boy investments.
Well, if you have your home, that's your starter.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you can prove to yourself and the others, especially when I mean by others, I mean by the lenders, by the credit companies and what have you, that you're able to maintain a home. You know, the world is your oyster. You know what I mean? So the way I look at it is, start small. You know, investments are great. You know, but start small. Start small. Take out your time, and even if you don't hit your deadline, or you say, hey, I'm going to have a house in a year. You know, you have the money that's saved up. Your credit looks a lot better. And it gives you the opportunity to go and do whatever it is that you want to. But I will tell you this: once you have that money, saved up, it's really, really hard to go and swipe that card. It's really, really hard to go and write that check, you know, for some nonsense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, you have to take the time to have the discipline, put your money away, you know, into something, you know, however you want to do it. Whether it's, you know, you go and open up an account, open up a CD where you can just put money in and then leave it alone, let Big Mama keep it. However you want to do it, you know, you have the opportunity to do this thing and actually change out your financial
situation.
Your financial situation.
Because I know for me, you know, the house that I ended up getting, I looked at it as an investment. You know, like side of town I moved. You know, I moved from the west side to the east side. You know, but over time, like, you know, I've been there and now the house is literally making me money. You know, and the thing is, especially with our people, we always, like Boo said, like the responsibility of owning a home. You know, we always talk about the maintenance and all that kind of stuff. What you don't understand, what people need to understand is there are programs out there, American Home Shield, that you pay $30 a month or $40 a month, and all those worries kind of go away, because if your furnace go out, your dishwasher go out, if anything go out, they come out, repair it. If they can't repair it, they give you a brand new one. So I mean, like, it's time that we take ownership and realize that owning property and owning land is the best thing we can do. Our grandparents do that, and then we just kind of piss it away.
So guess what happened? So today's show was Potholes, copycats, and
superheroes. Yep.
And so if you really take into consideration, you have to have insurance on your car, and they make you do that. So when the pothole tears your car up, you're already prepared to make that happen.
Right.
Take care of that. When we talk about copycats, I mean, if we're really going to be good copycats, you know, our focus was on school shootings and things like that. But like you brought up a good point. Our grandparents had insurance. They had things in place and did these kind of things. And so really, we should be looking to do the same things as they had. Have home ownership. There's so many guys I know that are my age that moved into a house that was already paid for. The house has been in the family for
generations,
for several decades. Because the grandparents paid for it, kept it, and whoever needed it, they was in there. You know?
Sounds like my grandma.
And so it's one of those things where I really feel like they need to be in that type of situation where man, that's for sure. If you're going to own a home, get with somebody who knows what they're talking about. If you're going to make a good investment, make sure you make the investment that makes sense. You know, and then stay steadfast in your decision making. All right, this is Moose at Big House, man. Henry's radio show, and I tell you, we're about done with this episode. Oh, man, Fromm has been an amazing addition to the show today, because as we talk about those things, we talk about superheroes. Be a superhero in your community.
For sure. For sure.
People that own a home take care of their home better than people that rent a home.
They rent a home,
You
yeah.
already know that.
It's ownership.
You already know
It's
that.
ownership, man.
You own the house, you're going to be better at taking care of it, and you're going to be better for your community, you're going to be better for your family. So I think that everything we're talking about totally makes sense. It's not just about Black Lightning and you know, everybody from Wakanda. Everybody wants to move to Wakanda. Maybe we don't move to Wakanda. Maybe we bring Wakanda here.
That's what he said in the movie. He said maybe you weren't the one that lost. Maybe they lost. You know what I'm saying? Like Wakanda is a mythical place. It can be anywhere. It's anywhere.
It's real. I feel like I can't wait to go to Wakanda.
Yeah, it ain't real. But there was a scene in the movie at the end of the movie when he was like, "I bought that building, and I bought that building,
Yep.
and I bought that building."
And those little kids were so excited.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
What
So,
are you gonna do?
Buy back the hood, man. Buy back your area, man. But take on, like you said, the key word is ownership. Own your stuff, man. Own it.
And so I really feel like, guys, I feel like that you know, we are, you know, on to something here. I think we're on to a mission. We do this podcast as a hobby. You know, we invest in it, and you know, we know that there's 30,000 people out there that listen to us. We know that we're all over the world. That you know, shout out to Ashburn, Virginia. Shout out to the People's Republic of China, which is kind of weird to me. I've been out there with comedy, so you know, shout out to all the folks in the United States that listen to us, and then the United Kingdom, that kind of thing, man. We're out here. All right, so guys, you have any parting words? I'll tell you what, before you go, you got your parting words?
Enjoy your life, dodge the potholes, and putting together an Olympic team.
Olympic team from pothole dodge.
Dodging potholes at an average speed.
You end up having a car that looks similar to Shuri's Lexus.
Yes. Hey folks, man, special shout out. Hey, this radio show, man. If you're looking for a mortgage, special shout out to Fron. It's the Frondrick D. Neal. Called Fron. The Frondrick D. Neal. He's a mortgage loan originator from TCU. That's Teachers Credit Union, man. Check him out. 445 South Coast Road. He's way out there on the east side.
Monica the Woods.
Check him out, man. Check him out. The Frondrick D. Neal. We call him Fron, man. I tell you what, smart dude, man. He gave us lots of information. And matter of fact, we're going to take a picture with him tonight. We're going to post his picture. We're going to get his information out there. Because, man, dude is spit knowledge.
Yeah.
And folks, you know, right now is such a hot time. Because, again, everybody wants to live in Wakanda. It's not real. We just do it here. Have you seen the meme where they said that there's guys out here that saw Black Panther twice but haven't seen their children in a year?
That's silly.
It says, Wakanda father are you? You seen that?
Yeah, man.
That's serious business, man. But that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah, man. But there's nothing. We give another thing. I saw that
I
post.
do have something. What I'd like to do for anybody that's a first-time home buyer, what I like to do is set up a venue. I love to do get together. It doesn't have to be any place extravagant. It's not a seminar where I just sit and talk all day. But fire some scenarios at me, because the only way that you're going to get this is having the knowledge to go and get that start. And I'm not into it for the simple fact of making money. I'm more into it to help you get where it is that you need to be. So whether it's with me, hopefully it's with me, but whether it's with me or someone else, you'll have an idea to go and move forward and just try to help yourself, Like I said, I want to do some venues here and hopefully my podcast.
Heavy hitters are in.
Once the heavy hitters
I'm speaking
we can get together and we can just have a good conversation.
I was going to go with or without you guys.
I'm speaking for all of us, and guess what? Man, the folks here at Sticks absolutely love us, right? obviously they're a fan of you as well. We can get with Steven. We can do our first one. We can do our first one right here. Right here at Sticks.
I love that.
You can do a session. You can go downstairs. You can do your talk. Matter of fact, we'll film it. We'll get some guys in there filming it.
Yes, sir.
We'll fire the podcast at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Then after that, we'll have a little jam session.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm
Yes, sir.
saying?
I like that a lot.
I tell you what, I am 100% into that. I feel like that any kind of uplift opportunity is an opportunity for us to be a part of. Matter of fact, I got some guys who do some jazz music and stuff. I think what we do. Here's what we do. I'm saying it on air, so you guys got to open to it. Is that okay with you guys?
Yes.
All right, so here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna bring Fun in. Fun's coming in. He's gonna talk. We're gonna get people here. He's gonna talk his stuff. He can bring in whoever you need to bring in to talk financial freedom and home ownership and all that good stuff that goes along with that. And then I'm gonna have my guys. Do some jazz at the end of that, you know what I'm saying, for the rest of the evening, while you mill around and do your thing, man.
I appreciate that.
I really feel like that's an important piece, man. And Sticks here at 361.
Indiana.
Yeah, they've been so good to us, man. That I think this would be a good spot to start that. And man, if the heavy hitters can start a movement with some individuals in the community, especially that dress like you. That's smart E40, right? Yeah. I know I don't think he likes that much. He's probably gonna cuss me out real smart.
Like I said, I don't know your FCC rules. I'm gonna be respectful to the place where that brought me out. So
That's okay. So,
on air.
I understand. Hey, but I tell you what, man, I'm all in on that. You know what? That's going to be a focus, I think, in heavy hitters here in the next couple of weeks. You know, especially as it comes into bracketology.
Yeah.
Bracketology's happening. I want to say this weekend.
Next week.
Is it next week or this week?
We got it, yeah.
And so we need to tie that in as well. So folks, coming soon, man. Financial series, man, from the Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man, with our man Fron, with some other guys in here, you know, that you know that you may not, to get you guys in there making some good decisions in this tough time. As a matter of fact, I'm putting a call out there right now. I want somebody out there that does stocks and bonds and all that. I want to talk to them myself because I want to do that.
I'll bring a couple of my friends.
I want to get into that.
We'll make it happen.
I want to get in there. So, folks, coming soon. Matter of fact, the next couple of weeks, we're not going to goof around.
Yeah.
His phone number, give my phone number. So, set it up. We're going to give Steven. I saw Steven here a little bit ago. We're going to get that going. You okay with that?
I'm good.
All right, Jesus, got the party.
No, I'm gonna leave on a high note. I was gonna say something, but I'm gonna leave on a high note, man.
Good for you. I'm glad. Finally.
Yeah, Fron, he lifted us up. I ain't gonna tear us down.
Yeah, don't do it. You want some already wants to cuss me out. We're not gonna do that.
Cause you said that Wakanda father, they kind of stuck with me, but we can move on.
Let's not do it.
Let's not do it.
Hey, folks, man. I tell you, we got Fron. Fron, you got anything you want to leave us with?
I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to helping you out. Let's begin this journey together. Let's go ahead and try to make it happen. You know, save yourself some money. Go and buy something that belongs to you. It's already been planned and ordained that you're going to get it. Awesome.
Man, Fred's smart dude. And he has a Windsor knot, by the way. I don't even know how to tie that. Did you tie that yourself or did you buy it like that?
Double Windsor, I know how to do it.
I know that. That tie, that knot is very huge.
That's a double Windsor.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that. Hey,
I went on YouTube and couldn't figure that shit out.
He will teach you how to buy a house and tie a double Windsor. All in the same seminar.
I don't have enough long enough ties. My tie double Windsor is like up here.
It's like a Fred Flintstone tie.
You over there? No, yeah, we saw you. All right. Hey, folks, I tell you,
My double Windsor four times.
This is Moose, aka Big House, man. We signing out. Remember, we are where you are.
So get comfortable.
And come on in.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Sean and all those folks, man. Neighbors, man. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Peace.
Y'all was having a blast. I realized I've been hitting the wrong old number. Today my sister's birthday. I've been hitting the wrong number all day.
Oh, no.
Like every time my phone resets, it brings back everybody.